With Audio Video Paradise, who's our sound goddess. She just got married. We're going to go right into the Clerk of Courts. And just to be clear, there's 4 people running for the Republican primary. They were all invited, so we'll leave it at that. The Clerk of Courts, now we're getting into the significant money. This makes somewhere around $105,000 a year with opportunity to make a little bit more. And this isn't set by the state, I believe. But this is a real job. We'll go right into questions and give Richard Talmadge start right off.
I'm going to start with a softball question for Kevin, mainly because I've been in this community for 25 years, and the Clerk of the Court's office has been the providence of Mr. Dan Coolidge, who's done an extraordinary job. Quite frankly, I don't know what that job is. So, Kevin, if you would be so kind to enlighten me and our audience, specifically what does the Clerk of the Court do? How many employees are in that office? And what's its annual budget?
Okay, the short answer is the clerk does all the right things, or at least it has for the last 29 years. 3 parts to the question. First, there's 97 employees in the office. The annual budget, you can think of it in 2 different segments, the court-related and non-court-related. Non-court-related budget is about $3.5 million, and that is funded by your ad valorem property taxes passed through the county's general fund. The court side, again, is about $3.5 million, and that is funded through the general appropriation process by the legislature in Tallahassee. What the clerk does is a rather complex answer, because there's a judicial study that identified 926 distinct constitutional and statutory duties of the clerk. But in a nutshell, the clerk helps the court system function smoothly by providing the clerks in the courtroom to the judges, as well as the frontline clerks in the traffic, civil, and criminal areas. That responsibility of the clerk is pretty much ministerial. There's not a lot of discretion involved in that, but it's very important duties, obviously. The clerk also is the clerk to the Board of County Commissioners, the keeper of the county's official records, attends the VOCC meetings, keeps the minutes, and aids the commissioners in executing a smooth operating commission meeting. Here, institutional knowledge is important for the clerk to have, because as the meeting goes on, there's questions about historical facts or where a certain ordinance or practice came from. And if the clerk doesn't have the answer, well, the meeting bogs down. Probably the most visible duty of the clerk is running the county's finance department. The county commissioners are the policy makers. They decide how to spend your money, what to spend it on, how much of it to spend. The clerk holds the checkbook. The clerk has custody of all the assets, all the money, is responsible for investing the money, and is the final review for a payment. The clerk can't say, we don't want to make this payment because it's wasteful. The clerk can only deny a payment if it's not legally appropriate or for legitimate county business. But the important function of operating the finance department is really the check and balance. Again, the final set of eyes on expenditure before the check is cut. Finally, the clerk in running the finance department is also responsible for the overall county audit and the publication of the county's official financial statements, which requires a thorough knowledge of accounting standards and the county's finances in particular. And finally, the clerk has the audit powers. The internal audit department is housed inside the clerk's office, separate from the finance department for specific reasons. Finance has custody of all the records, but audit has to be independent, and they review those records on, during audits in county departments. Any agency, not-for-profit or company that does business with the county also is subject to audit by the clerk. So that is the kind of the area where the clerk can give the public confidence that.
I'm going to have to cut you off there, Kevin. Just so, in the interest of time, we're trying to keep things at around 2 minutes, but it is very hard to explain what 900 functions is. It's a lot of 2 minutes, so we're just trying to get there here. So, well, thank you. Send over any follow-up? Richard, better not be one. So, do you have a follow-up, or? Oh, I was going to give it, let Ed start. Yeah. Next question is red scale to whoever.
Stuart, this is a question for you. If elected, and this is a sort of take the opposite view, this is kind of a hardball question. If elected, when, and I'm asking for a date, will civil and criminal pleadings and filings be available to the public online? Here, here.
Well, as a member of the bar, you might not be aware that the e-filing system has actually begun for a number of members of the bar as a test run. So that should be going in very, very quickly. Okay. That should be going in very, very quickly. As far as the date certain that you're asking me, it's not necessarily within my control because it uses a statewide system to make these documents available. However, if elected, I can guarantee you that within the first quarter of my tenure, there would be no problem getting that line, if not sooner.
So as a follow-up, there are some jurisdictions where the filings are available, just not in the 16th Judicial Circuit. It would be a priority of yours to have filings available online for the public to view in criminal and civil cases.
Absolutely. I'm aware that in federal courts, of course, they already are online, and that is a tremendous resource to both members of the bar and the public to be able to look up, not just see the docket, the list of documents filed, but what they actually contain, so that you can see where these documents came from and what's contained in them. So that would be very important.
Yeah, I have a follow-up to that for Mr. Doherty. It's been said that the state has had trouble implementing electronic filings, and that is the reason there has been some problems with that. What are those problems, and how does it affect us as far as electronic filings are concerned?
The state's done. The state's component of this was putting together a portal where you can submit those documents. And I think to Mr. Scales' question is we're really looking at how documents get in, and that's what's the e-filing. And I think your question was really more related to how can the public access those documents after they're in as well. The state developed the e-portal. Now there's 67 different counties that have to be able to receive those documents, because as an attorney or a pro se defendant or anyone filing those documents, you should be able to file in multiple counties. The way they resolved that was to create an e-portal at the state level. And it was duties of the county to actually be able to receive those and integrate those documents with their individual 67 individual systems. And some counties are already able to do that 100%. Our county has been missing and missing every deadline. We are currently just barely testing circuit civil e-filing. Now, in regards to accessing those documents, the clerk's office currently uses a system called Odyssey, and staff is scanning most of those documents into the Odyssey system. And to answer Mr. Scales' question, the day I take office, I think I can probably pull a switch and get that online for you. And that's how simple it is. It's the system is not being utilized. Having been the tech director at both the state attorney's office and the public defender's office, I'm very familiar with all of those systems. And I also understand when systems are underutilized. And this is exactly what's happening in our case. In my With my track record, what I've done is I've implemented a document management system, paperless, in the state attorney's office, where we also started to do redactment very inexpensively and provide discovery electronically to all the defense attorneys in town. And a lot of defense attorneys know suddenly they started receiving their discovery electronically. We're totally underutilizing our systems. It's costing us money by delaying, so the sooner you get it done, the sooner you start taking some of those costs and making some of those cost advantages.
Well, then I guess my follow-up is to you, Mr. Maddox. Why is that? Why haven't we begun?
That's not completely accurate. We are, Circuit Civil has been in test case as mandated by the Supreme Court for going on 60 days. We've added, I believe, probate and family. By the 90th day, we will have all Circuit Civil e-filing, and if the Chief Judge, at that point, the Chief Judge will review the statistics and the accuracy, and if he gives the go-ahead, then e-filing will be open to all attorneys in the county. And that will be within 30 days. And actually, it's going fairly smoothly. All the counties are going through the same issue that we are. There's confusion. Some counties have had e-filing on their own for a couple of years, but those are large counties with huge IT staffs that spend millions of dollars implementing their own e-filing systems. They are mandated by the state to use the e-portal, so essentially they have to retire the systems that they are using and go to the state's e-portal system. And we all have the same issues of the systems talking to each other. It's being worked out, but we are not behind.
Let me break in quick. Ezra, you're going to be next. As much as the panel here is attractive and everything, please look at that pretty blonde lady behind the camera, because we're filming this, and I've been told that you're getting massage on the back of your head more than your face.